Say it ain't so. I'm a big fan of Tyler Benson. I make no bones about it. I love the kid and hope the best for him every time he comes up to the NHL. But today, the Oilers have placed Tyler Benson on waivers once again, and there's a chance that, well, at long last, for a troubled tenure in Edmonton for a former second round pick, things may be over in Alberta's capital. This is Dolynny TV. Folks, welcome aboard to today's episode discussing Tyler Benson on waivers this morning. Of course, I don't think for most of you I'm breaking any big news here other than spinning this into a much larger conversation because people forget kind of where I'm coming from on this one when it comes to Tyler Benson. So we'll discuss that in a matter of moments. But if you're new to the channel, my friends, I would make sure today that you hit that, well, subscribe button if you'd be so kind, because we are well on our way now this month to 10,000 subscribers. I thought it was a little bit of a lofty goal here to end out the year. We've got the World Juniors live streams coming up and stuff like that. But that subscribe button only a click away for you. It's free. It's awesome. It's hey, it gets you the videos that much quicker if you're looking for your Edmonton Oilers coverage, as I know from market research out in the public at Rogers Place that some people do actually use Dolynny TV as their number one source for Oilers videos and, of course, Oilers news. So thank you for that. But as we put that together is the fact, like I said, it was a lofty goal, but all of a sudden I see Patrick with the Oilers Fanatic there put out his goal, and both of us just bang, bang, bang start climbing the ladder here this month. And that's really exciting to see because this Oilers space has been small for a long time. But now with Patrick's help and I'm me being able to help Patrick, we're about to really, hopefully in the new year, crank it up as the Oilers gear towards the playoffs. Now, Tyler Benson, talk about a guy who hopefully gears up and cranks it up for the Oilers down the stretch if he doesn't get claimed on waivers. So, simply put, I think I've already busted the news to you here in today's video is Tyler Benson on waivers. We'll find out news on that around noon, 12:05 tomorrow when Elliot Friedman, Chris Johnson, and Frank Saravelli break the news who cleared, who didn't. And I think it's a 90% chance that Tyler Benson clears simply because of the fact, right, you've got Evgeny Svechnikov clearing the other day. You got guys like Martin Kaut, who's very similar on waivers today too. There's a lot of players that are the Tyler Benson protocol right now that have gone through waivers as of late and not gotten claimed. So that's the added relief there. And of course, then he goes back down to Bakersfield. All's good. Or the Oilers just keep him up here, and now he's waiver eligible for when players return healthy to the roster. So there's a couple of multiple angles here the Oilers can play that. We've learned that very well over the past 3 years. We don't need to worry about that. But when in turn, why are the Oilers placing Tyler Benson on waivers in the middle of a day when they don't make another roster move? Well, Warren Foegele, Ryan McLeod, right? They could be close to that return, and this is just a move to save cap for tomorrow, so he's not on the cap books is Tyler Benson tomorrow, and you save that fraction of a cap hit going into the trade deadline. That's kind of the idea there for the Oilers, that you may be able to do that and then activate McLeod tomorrow, activate Foegele tomorrow. You get it going. Right, their cap hit still counts, but now you're one less cap hit, you're a roster body, and away you go. That's kind of where I'm seeing it for the Oilers' perspective. Is obviously James Hamblin has been absolutely a treasure for the Oilers in a bottom six role in terms of a guy that just steps in and does exactly what he is expected to do, right? We're not expecting James Hamblin to put up 2 points a night. We're not expecting even anything other than a little bit of penalty killing and a lot of just hard work on the ice, and that's kind of what he's come in and done. Tyler Benson's only gotten 2 games, but kind of fits different in the lineup than maybe James Hamlin does under a Jay Woodcroft scheme. So that is where we divulge all of the stuff that could potentially happen with Tyler Benson into this discussion, and you're welcome to stick around, or if 4 minutes and 28 seconds was enough to inform you on what you needed to know out of this Tyler Benson discussion tonight, that is fine and dandy. Friends, have a great evening. Come back for the Hockey Canada talk here in a little bit when we talk about Team Canada's World Juniors hopes, and we'll talk that in a few hours. But when it comes down to it for the Oilers and Tyler Benson, obviously I don't think things have gone quite the way it should have when he was drafted, quite the way the Oilers have hoped it would over the past few years. The thing with Tyler Benson is, I think people misconstrue the fact that I think he's this amazing hockey player that's going to change the Oilers' fortunes and absolutely go out there and be like Kyler Yamamoto light from 2017. Or not 2017, sorry, 2019, 2020. That's what I think people think I expect from him. No, that's what I hope for him. And the reason I hope that for Tyler Benson is it's similar to the Espuliarvi thing, is he's the guy who gets dumped on all the time for not living up to expectation. That's number one. But for Tyler Benson too is through the lens of a few people in Bakersfield, I've gotten over the years to really understand just how awesome Benny is, just how awesome Benny can be. That's the big thing here. Is just the potential is sky high, but he has to translate it. That's kind of the deal. And unfortunately, a lot of players fail to do that at the NHL level. That's reality. And it's not that I'm detached from reality that, hey, Benson's a great AHLer, but he'll never make it in the NHL, but I still think he can. It's more or less, man, I hope he does. Because at the end of the day is every kid that makes the NHL dreams of making the NHL way back when. And he's done that, he's been there, and now he's got that opportunity that very few people get to have, right? And I mean, especially too, you're talking about a local product out of Edmonton, did his AAA Bantam in Edmonton, whatever you want to say, that minor hockey program that got him where he is today. He did it in the city the Oilers play in. So it's one of those things. He's a hometown kid. You know what? If you don't hold out every last bit of hope you can for him before it's actually over, then I don't think you've done the kid justice. And that's where, right, I've seen what he's done in Bakersfield, how amazing he's been, and just obviously knowing too that, hey, you know what? If this kid comes in and proves himself in front of the home audience and does it, great. But the thing too is, the Oilers need role players, and Benson can be that. But everybody expects Benson to be this third line scoring winger that goes out and makes a ton of pretty plays and does that because of where he was drafted. And unfortunately, right now at this point in Tyler Benson's career, he's not there yet. But again, as maybe using the Tage Thompson method as proof, is you don't have to be that immediately to once upon a time be successful in the NHL. And that's where for Tyler Benson right now is I hope the Oilers keep giving him his chances, keep letting him have the opportunity to succeed, because at some point it will finally show itself as make or break. And I don't think the Oilers are there, because clearly as this season dictates, injuries have happened and you need those depth players to be able to step up. Benson steps into 2 games for now. And I mean, you never know when that little stroke of luck is going to go. He has a goal, then a 2-goal game, and suddenly he's on a hot streak for a couple of weeks that turns into him being an NHL regular player, i.e. Kyler Yamamoto. We would all agree we've never gotten the same Kyler Yamamoto from the 1920 season that we had before it got cut short in March, but Yamamoto has turned himself into a useful NHL player every single night since then. So that's kind of the argument I'd use for Tyler Benson, is just when he catches fire, he'll catch fire. And Kyler Yamamoto had quite a few games in the NHL prior to that happening for him before. So now it's just a matter of seeing if that happens with Tyler Benson. But before that happens, it all could be cut short by being claimed on waivers by another team sometime around noon tomorrow. Folks, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Very basic Edmonton Oilers news today, but just something I really wanted to talk about, kind of expand on my feelings a little bit, and we'll talk some Team Canada World Juniors coverage here in a little bit. Folks, enjoy your evening, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm up on out of here.